Evening with Gelda program greet you all with much love and respect and invite you to join me to welcome our guest today, the talented poetess Sonia Batra. Welcome, poetess. Sonia Batra is a dentist by profession and writer by passion. She has numerous publications in international and national anthologies, numerous publications in e-magazine cultural reference, and many more. She is recipient of Nobel laureate Kabi Rabinder Tagore Award. She has been awarded by governments of Kazakhstan, the Seychelles, and Peru. She also been awarded by Gujarat Sahitya Academy. She has come out with her solo venture, The Soul Stirrings, and a poetic saga, a story about a female living with a narcissist. Okay, poetess, let's start our interview. Dear Sonia, tell us, when did you first come into contact with poetry?
Hello dear viewers, hello dear Gelda, thanks for the invite and I'm so happy to be here with you. In fact, Gelda, how I came along with poetry was, I think so, by chance. I never read poetry. I was not interested in poetry. For me, what happened that at a time in life, I had so many bottled feelings that they ultimately took expression on blank papers. And this is what people call poetry, I think so. And this is how I came across poetry. It was never planned, and it just happened to me by grace of God. And the best part was, whatever I was writing, people were liking it, and I was getting applause, and I was happy about it, that people could connect what I was writing to.
What poets did influence you for loving so much poetry?
See, Gelda, I again told you that I am not influenced by poetry because I haven't read poetry in the past. Though I have been reading voraciously, and I have been reading since childhood, and I have read a lot. I think so nothing influences me as far as anyone is concerned. I think so life, relationships, and the way the people go through it, I think so that influences me, and that is what I write.
Do you think that social networks and different digital platforms help to spread poetry around the world?
Social media is such an important thing for the upcoming writers. See, I am sitting in front of you and I am talking to you, all thanks to digital network and everything. I think so what a writer needs is a pat on his back. And there are so many poetry channels, there are so many poetry sites that we post there, and people connect to it and they applaud you. Now this is what makes a poet going, the applause. If you get good comments, I think so your morale is boosted and you write more.
What's your current bedside book which you would like to recommend to us?
My current bedside book is 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. Now this is a very beautiful book on love. I have always touched that nerve of love which is mature. I mean to say, in which there is no expectation. no possessiveness, and it is something that you love a person for the person as it is, not the person you want. Love is something giving, love is something, it is a beautiful feel. And in this book, they talk about Shams of Tibris and Rumi, and Rumi and Shams of Tibris are the soulmates, and it is the call of the soulmate that they meet each other. But again, their love is very selfless and very pure. A must read for everyone, because love is essence of life. This is what we live for, this is what we always find. But somewhere I think we love wrong, because we expect, and expectations always bring hurt.
Do you prefer to read the ancient poets or modern ones, and why?
What I'm doing is I am reading all. I mean to say, now I have started reading the ancient poets, and I am very much reading my contemporary poets. Like in the ancient poets, I think so Emily Dickinson really affects me. I love her loneliness. Then I am going through Shakespeare, Rabindranath Tagore. Then Rumi is one of my favorites, and so many of them. But mostly I'm reading my contemporary poets, and I'm amazed at how every person has a different style and a different way of writing, and 26 alphabets are being woven into such a beautiful sequence, and beautiful feelings are portrayed. And I think so as a poet we also have some responsibility of bringing up current events or whatever is going on in society, good and bad both. So I think so I'm reading a lot, and yes, I'm reading a lot of poetry, and I love reading it.
Which is your favorite poetic style?
My poetic style is, I think so, free verse. My poetic style is my heart, what my heart says, what I have understood in this life, and through my writings I always spread positivity. Might be the beginning of the write is a bit negative, but it always ends in positivity, and this is what I want to spread, and want to tell people that life is not as you want. It is something, it happens, and it has a nerve to shock you from angles which you haven't thought about. So I think so my greatest inspiration is life, relationships, and definitely nature. Nature is always so giving, and so the poets are, and so we're giving a lot of introspection to our to the people who read us.
What source do you seek inspiration for writing?
What inspires me most in writing? I would again say it is people around me, and the events in my life, and whatever I have gone in life. And yes, somewhat readings also. What I read, that also inspires me in my writing. Like I have read through so many spiritual books. I think so that really affects my writing. And again, I would say here that I always spread positivity. My message is whatever the condition, however the things are, never lose life, never lose courage. Let go and move on.
Have you already reached your goals about literature and poetry?
In fact, I would say I have started with my poetic journey. As I am going through it, I think so my writings are being more refined, and I have so many things now to write. I've already written my book, that is The Soul Stirrings, and it is here, I think so I have covered an aspect of life about a narcissist. Now, narcissist lacks empathy, and it is about torture that a female goes through when living with a narcissist, and then how she goes through depression. Now I talk about redemption, which is not talked much, how you come out of it, and that is my message to the people. Romance your demons and go ahead. And then ultimately I talk about love, but again I say I touch that nerve of love which is mature, which is non-expecting, and where you just enjoy the feels. This is a poetic saga. It is in a story form.
Did you find any hinder when you decided to become a poetess?
No, I didn't encounter any hindrance in my poetic journey. Rather, everyone was so supportive. My son, my friends, my parents, they were all very supportive. Now, that is another thing that being from scientific background, nobody from our family has a literature background. I don't think so they read me a lot, but whatever they go through, they applaud me and they say yes, I'm doing good, and I go ahead.
Dearest, kindly could you recite a poem of you for all of us now?
Okay, I will recite a poem from my book itself. This is end of the how you get redeemed. I am talking about redemption, and I am talking about how we romance our demons. Romancing the demons. Have you ever romanced your demons? Have you ever looked straight in the eyes of fear? Have you experienced complete empty silence consuming you? So much so, it starts making sense to you. Have you been in utter darkness, all cramped, pitch black, stark and dark, so much so that you see your own light, brilliant, ablaze, and one with the source? Have you ever felt that rotten pain that nearly killed you? What a waste. Tears unabashedly flow, drowning you, breaking you, but not enough to dampen your spirits. Have you ever felt the strain when you aimed for stars, but your desires were crushed to ground as a moron broken with brakes, but you still got up after all? Have you ever felt sad when your own disowned you and you felt you were not wrong? You cry, you repent, but one day you just withdraw without a word. You simply stop knocking on the closed doors. And you survived it all. Believe me, all through, you have been romancing your demons. Yes, anything that didn't break you made you all the more strong. Thank you, Gelda. Thank you everyone for listening to me. God bless. Wear your mask, stay safe, and get well.
Wow! I would like to thank you so very much for your brilliant presence today. And you guys, if you like poetry like us, ring the bell to receive and subscribe our channel for receiving more poetry, for more thoughts about our brilliant poets. Okay? Hope to see you in the next Sunday. Stay all well and safe. Bye bye.